Try not to get oil everywhere. Just one down.
Let's go!
Hey guys, welcome back. One thing that I have definitely underestimated in doing full-time travel with our fifth wheel is how quickly the intervals for service come up on your tow vehicle and also on your trailer. I know previously we could go 6 months to over a year, a long time before hitting that 3 to 5,000 mile interval for oil changes, and I feel like we're constantly changing the oil in our truck, and that being the case is something that I try to do by myself as often as possible to save cost. It's also a lot more convenient just to do it myself on my own time frame, but yeah, it's definitely been something to get used to. So today what I'm taking care of is I'm changing the oil in our Ram 3500 diesel truck, and then also I'm due for maintenance on our cold air intake filter. That's something you need to service as well. So I'll bring you guys along for the process. It's pretty simple, it doesn't take very long. It's something I've done ever since I started driving my own vehicles. For the most part, I've always just changed my own oil. So I'm gonna show you the process. It's not going to be a DIY, it's just going to be just a little bit of a perspective of what this looks like. So come along. One of the first things you always want to remember when changing your oil in any vehicle is to warm the vehicle up. That way the oil is warm when you take it out. When you drain it, it just ensures that you get every bit of that oil that you can out of the engine, that old oil. And then when you put new fresh oil in it, it just makes everything go a lot smoothly. So typically what I'll do is I'll start the truck up. Our truck does have a fast idle option, so I'll just start it up. I'll put it on fast idle for 5 or so minutes, 5-10 minutes, until the the coolant temperature gets up to running temp. Then I'll shut it off. I know that it is warm at that point when you're working on it, but oil changes are really simple, especially on this truck. All you have to do is put a 1/2-inch end wrench or a ratchet on the drain plug, so you're not really touching much. And then as far as the oil filter is concerned, I use a strap wrench on that, so you're not really touching anything, so you don't really have to worry about being hot. It's more important for the engine to be warm. That way the old oil comes right out. So I've already done that, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the actual draining of the oil and refilling it. And and believe it or not, this is all it takes to change your oil. Here I have a new oil filter. We have a 3/8 ratchet wrench, which goes right onto the drain plug, and then we have a strap wrench for removing the old oil filter. So that's it. And then along with that, I use for my truck, like I said, this is going to be specific to your truck, but I use the Chevron Delo 400 15W40, so I'll be using that, and then I have a drain pan as well. So I just take the drain pan to the local auto parts store when I'm done, drain the oil to recycle it, and I'm good to go. Okay, now we got everything drained out. We're gonna move on to replacing the filter. Also pretty simple, but it can be messy, so just take your time with this one and try not to get oil everywhere. And the oil filter is just back in here, so I'm going to use my wrench on that to get it loose, and the drain pan is down here below. So you just do your best to catch everything, but I've done this a few times on this truck, so it's a pretty simple process. All right, so we got the new filter in, got the old oil, we've got it all drained. So now it's just a matter of putting new oil in. Got all my bottles up here up top, and one thing to make sure is that the top where you're filling, just make sure that it's nice and clean. Other than that, just don't miss. Just one down. It's two. All right, so I got everything topped off again. I ran the truck. I always fill it up. I run it for a little bit, and then after it's cycled the oil through a little bit, I'll check it one more time just to make sure we're good to go. So pull it out, make sure I got a clean pull, and we are just within the top of the safe range. So we are good to go. All right, so oil change successful. The only thing left is to go inside and reset the oil life light, and we'll be good to go. All right, we're back in the truck, and we're down to the last step, and I will admit it's kind of ironic. Every time I change the oil, I have to remind myself how to do it, which I actually have to YouTube it. It's the easiest way. All you have to do is actually turn the truck off, and then turn it to just the on position, and then hit the gas pedal 3 times, and that should reset it. So if I go into messages, you can see there's 0 messages. So we're good to go. So that's the oil change. We got that taken care of. Next step is I'm going to go ahead and actually pull the air filter out. I'm going to clean it, treat it, and put it back in. That's a really quick process, not very interesting, so I'll bring you guys along, but it's just going to be time lapse here moving forward. So check it out. It's very dirty. And just like that, we've wrapped up the maintenance for today. I'm done. It took about an hour and a half total. We did an oil change, cleaned up that air filter. It still needs to dry overnight, and then I have to re-oil it. But that's it. That's kind of what things look like. You know, today's Monday. We got some vacation time, so it's just taking care of these little chores as I have time. But that's it for today, and now I'm off to do a quick workout and hang out with the kids. Until next time.